During times of uncertainty, it's comforting to know we have a healthcare system in our community that's been committed to supporting us for well over a century. In this current time, we are standing together, and our bond is stronger than ever. KDMC, caring for our community like no one else can.
Ben, you go ahead and start.
Yeah, Drew, your first career start, man. 8 strikeouts. Just how'd you feel out there?
It was really fun. I just had a blast. It kind of helped that I started most of the fall and all of spring, so kind of knew the approach to it from the beginning and everything. But it was really fun, and it felt just like how it did in the spring. So it was just a blast.
Chase.
Yeah, Drew, there's so much competition on the staff. What's it like as far as, knowing you need to maximize your opportunities because so many people are kind of competing for roles?
Yeah, it's awesome to be just a part of this staff with so many talented guys. We have so many pitchers that can come in and do the same thing, just get outs and strike people out, get swings and misses and stuff. So it's awesome just to be able to be a part of a staff with this many guys that are that good. But just knowing that you have to show out, because if not, then there's other guys there that can do the same thing as you. So just being able to do that is just great.
Parrish.
Drew, is there a comfort level you guys have to reach in terms of playing as the number one team? Do you all think about that or talk about it, or is it kind of business as usual?
I think it's mostly business as usual. I mean, obviously we know we look at that and hear it and see it on Twitter and stuff, but I think it's mostly just business as usual, and we just go at it like we have all year. And I think we'll continue to do that as the season goes on.
Thank you.
Any more questions for Drew? All right, Drew, you're good. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Next up, we'll have Kevin Graham. Parrish, you can go ahead and start us off.
Kevin, how did you feel out there tonight? You looked pretty comfortable at the plate.
Yeah, really good. I felt like in Texas, my swing path was a little off. So Clem and I last night and then today before the game really worked on getting that back to normal, and felt good out there tonight.
Is there a comfort level you guys have to reach in terms of playing as the number one team, or is it just business as usual?
No, we don't think about that at all. I mean, obviously it's cool and everything, but when we step on the field, it's go time. We're not thinking about anything. I mean, what does the ranking right now really mean anyway?
Ben?
Yeah, Kevin, the move to left field last year was kind of new for you. You had to get comfortable out there, but with that diving catch, man, it looks like you're pretty comfortable now, man. Like, how do you feel out there in left? Does it feel more natural for you?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a little bit of a learning curve, but worked really hard with Coach Cleary this fall and getting as many reps as I can out there, and just cleaning up some stuff and starting to feel real comfortable.
First game without Peyton, and still y'all rolled, and all the guys like TJ McCants steps in, Cael comes back, and y'all are able to keep rolling offensively. Just what did you think about the first game without Peyton and picking up the slack with the new guys?
Yeah, obviously losing Peyton hurts, but we've got a lot of guys on this team that can really swing it. Really proud of TJ tonight. Looked really good in his first career game. Good to have Bake back, but I think our offense knows. Someone's going to step up when we need to. We're all pretty confident.
Nick?
For you, just kind of learning to develop into more of a complete hitter, doing more of the singles hitting, doing all the stuff you can do. How valuable was that, and how tough an adjustment is it to be more complete at the plate?
Something really since I've gotten here, I've worked really hard on, but, worked really hard with Clem on getting my approach down, and laughs really helped with that too. Even Doug in the fall, just talking to him about how he would attack me and what I can do to be better against lefts I had a lot of help from a lot of guys.
Parrish?
I'm done. Thank you.
Any more questions for Doug? Oh, good. Appreciate it, Doug.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you,
Kevin, I'm sorry. Next up, we'll have Coach Bianco. Ben, you can start us off.
Yeah, Mike. Peyton, first game without him, and TJ McCants steps up and plays really well, hits really well. Baker's back. So, what do you think of the offense and how you were able to put up runs and hits tonight?
Well, it's hard to argue when you score 12 runs, and certainly they opened up the door for us, early on with some errors. We probably weren't, not probably, we weren't as efficient, certainly the first few innings as we were, over in Texas. But that's going to happen, as we said, sometimes, hitting can come and go. But I thought, it was really neat. It was really neat to, see TJ in there and get a couple hits, get some swings off. And even before he got the hit, his first at bat, he was aggressive, and that's what I was looking for. Would he be tentative, or would he go for it? And he certainly went for it. And he had a nice turn of a double play tonight. And of course, nice to have Bake back and jumped on a fastball. And offensively, you gotta be excited when you score double-digit runs.
Chase.
Yeah, Mike, Adcock tonight, Mallett's over the weekend. In a normal year, we've been talking about those guys in the preseason, but there's so much depth. That's kind of the weird thing about this year, and there's so many more arms for you to sort through.
And and I don't necessarily, some of it's COVID, but not necessarily all of it. It's just really good, couple of classes that had some really good arms, and you're right. I mean, now we've, I think, pitched 16 guys. You'd have to look back. I don't know when's the last time we pitched 16 guys, and we pitched 16 guys in 4 games. And they've all pitched well. They've all competed. They've thrown the ball in the strike zone, and so to watch new guys out there, and we knew Adcock was going to be a part of it, and certainly Burton and Myers, and but it was nice to watch Kimbrell come in and do the job against a left-hander in kind of a sticky situation again, to get out of big jam, big strikeout, double play, gets off the field. But man, I was really proud of Cody. It's tough to run out there the first time, and to go to full count, your first hitter, and throw a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. It was his best fastball. It wasn't at 89, and so he showed a lot of confidence out there. Obviously, strikes out the side. Burton, just looked dominant. But then Tyler at the end, it's tough. And that, again, coming off red shirt year where you had surgery, then you come back. You finally get on the field, open and pitch, or open and batter gets a double, and then he ends up handling it. Strikes out 3 in a row. So just really proud and happy for those guys, especially the guys going out there for the first time.
What do you think of McDaniel and his start?
Dominant, and kind of the way he's been all fall and early spring. I mean, low 90s, 90, 93, with kind of an explosive fastball. An above average slider and above average changeup, and really attacked. He pitched well, especially early. He just ran out of juice, there, at the end. One, as it's tough. Sometimes scoring a lot of runs isn't great for the pitcher. That you kind of get out of that rhythm, and but I thought it had more to do with just a little bit of fatigue, because one of the things I said on the radio is, we have been so conscious of Nikhazy, Hoagland, and Diamond getting to certain pitches each weekend. And McDaniel had sometimes been a little more efficient. And so when he matched up with Doug, he may not have hit that same mark. And so he threw 71 pitches tonight. And that's the most he's thrown, since he's been here. Now, Doug had already thrown 70 plus in an inter-squad game. So is Gunner, so is Diamond. So they were more prepared, I think, for a start. So once we knew that was probably going to be his last inning, but you could tell, he got a little winded there at the end.
Parrish.
Mike, was TJ just the automatic starter there when Peyton got hurt, or did you have to push some buttons in the coaching machine to come up with that? Or, I guess long term, for the extent of the injury, is TJ going to be your guy, do you think?
No, I think Garrett will get some starts. Garrett would, and then we've talked about moving bench in, and maybe Salmons or Plumlee getting a start in center field. And so one of the things that it's going to force us to do, but it may be a good thing, is it's going to force us to get some guys in there that may not have, and so like TJ gets a start tonight, and and so we'll see as time goes on. So no, I don't think it's just locked. We'll play some different guys, and I think we'll try to take advantage of this opportunity to get some more bats and get some other guys ready to play.
Nick?
Mike, with am I echoing off you? I'm sorry, I'm hearing an echo. Never mind. With McDaniel and some of the COVID freshmen, Kimbrell, just what kind of growth did you see from them not having a full season, but taking over and being able to take the jump into year two?
And I think that's I may have mentioned it at some point that nobody ever really talks about. I mean, we've talked about so much different things about COVID and coaching and extra years and all of that. But the thing that I think is kind of paramount, you don't know. You saw 16 games, you didn't see 66 games, and and the maturation of the players, pitchers and hitters alike. And so I think these 4 weeks are really important. I think they're really important to see where guys are. And certainly, Drew's a different guy than he was last year. And, and we'll have to continue to see that with other guys. And I think that's what your question is. And I think that's going to be important, not just in our program, but I think everywhere. That's the thing people don't talk about, where, would have a guy like McDaniel or whoever that freshman was last year, or maybe a sophomore, what would that have year done, for him, maturing as a baseball player? Physically, I don't think it made a difference. I mean, they all kept lifting weights and those types of things. But as a baseball player, skill-wise and confidence and in their head and those types of things, that year is important. And so we're just gonna have to see for a lot of that. We're of course 4 games into it.
Ben?
Mike, we've talked a lot about how Kevin's come along as a hitter against left-handed pitching and all that, but was that diving catch a good example of how he's improved in left field?
Yeah, and it's again, when you look at somebody like Kevin Graham, where he's a freshman All-American, 2 years ago, but he gets pushed to the outfield. Last year was kind of a part-time player, and now he's different. And we didn't know he'd be that player. He was a good player, but now he's becoming a great player, and he's becoming a really good outfielder. And so that's kind of to Nick's question. Some of those things we didn't know. Maybe that would have happened last year. If we played enough games, we just don't know. And so Kevin comes back. He's worked really hard, and we knew he could hit. But he's different offensively. He's different. He's able to hit the ball the other way. He's able to handle left-handers. He's able to handle the off-speed pitch. Remember today, I think that his first base hit up the middle, I believe, was a changeup. His first base hit of the day. We saw against the left-hander, on Monday against Texas, he was able to get a big hit. And so, and of course, I think defensively, as he's just said, I think he's feeling really comfortable. And heck, we even toyed. We were going to start him if LaFleur didn't come, on the trip. He was going to start at first base. And so, we're so confident in the way he was playing that, we'll just put him at first base. So, he's done that before. I know it was 2 years ago, but he'll be able to figure it out. I mean, that's how good I think he's feeling right now.
Any other questions for Coach? Thank you all. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.